Hello, everybody. Welcome. John Carpenter drops new news on the new Halloween movie. The Night of the Living Dead gets a new 4K restoration, and The Bride of Frankenstein has trouble coming back to life. This is episode 2 of Horror Movie News, and it starts now. Let's get it.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Hello.
Don't you blame the movies.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
The movies don't create
Don't blame the
You're
movies.
just that excited.
Don't blame the movies.
No.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
The
the
lights.
lights.
The lights. Cool.
Good.
All right.
The moon. I
Yep.
like it a lot.
It's great. I love it. It's like a stormy night, right? A little gothic feel. If we had like thunderclouds or thunder.
Very 90s for me.
So, welcome to Horror Movie News, everybody. This camera now. My name is Anthony Becerra, and you can find me everywhere at Tony B. Dead. And with me, I have the lovely Kari Lane.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Kari. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's Karidlane.
Hey guys, I'm not that lovely.
Yes,
You're
you are.
lovely.
You are.
You're the dreamboat.
You are.
I'm Oliver Drennan. Find me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
Right on. Okay, guys, and if you so pretty much follow our show, you can subscribe at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. Also follow us on Twitter for the show Twitter. It's at Horror News PTN, and I guess PTN stands for Popcorn Talk Network. And also find us on the Popcorn Talk Network websites on the popcorntalknetwork.com. All right.
Well, real quick, I was like, since we're still talking about social media, we did a poll online, and you all, some of you voted. Probably some of you are new to our Twitter. So we did a poll of who is scarier, Chucky or Annabelle, and it was actually a tie.
Oh,
what?
really?
No
Yeah.
way. Like,
Okay,
I
that's
said
cool.
Chucky.
I said Chucky too.
I said animal because she's a demonic thing.
No,
that...
it's not a bad thing. She never moves, so I'm like, well, not really.
That's
the way
true.
Chucky, I'm like, he's gonna come after you.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to do polls like this on Twitter. So please feel free to follow us, and or if you have suggestions on polls that we should post on Twitter, let us know. Comment down below.
Everyone loves polls. I like a
They're
good
fun.
poll.
Yeah, it's an easy click. What's your vote?
Yeah, pretty much. I actually voted for Chucky too, because
Nice, yeah.
Chucky scared the shit out of me
He
when I was a kid.
Yeah, no lie, he was growing up for sure. Now
Yeah.
he's an orange doll.
It's kind of comedic. Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
After Bride of Chucky, it's like comedic. But Bride of Chucky,
I'm
you watch
shit-faced.
when you're an adult, and then it's funny because then all the sex jokes and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the raunchy humor is so like, yay.
Right on.
But that's crazy that it was 50-50. It was really 50-50.
Yeah.
I didn't even look. I thought Chucky got this, personally.
I
but-
totally thought Chucky had it too, but you guys voted and it's
But,
half
Like
and
if I
half.
saw Annabelle like get up and crawl around and stuff,
If
like
she
that would
moved
be
more,
terrifying.
yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Chucky had like that. His face would move so creepily, and then it's
Yeah.
a guy
It
trapped in a
talks.
doll's
A
body.
serial
like,
killer.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
insane. Like you're just messing with a demonic
Yeah.
like a demonic doll.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying as well. But like,
She has no personality.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
demons have no
Scary.
personality. They
Yeah.
take from humans.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to start off with what we're watching this week, as in like what we have seen the past week. I'll go first because I do have a couple. So I binged a lot of movies this weekend. So I watched Teen Wolf, which
Nice.
was hilarious. Not sure how. I didn't think it was that great of a movie, but I could see like why it's a
Wait,
cult
really?
phenomenon. It makes no sense, but I
It's
dig it. I,
so
like I go
fun.
with it. Like yeah,
Okay,
it's cool,
okay.
but like it's just like in retrospect, it's like nothing's not that great, you
Okay.
know.
Before its time, I'm sure.
It's
Yeah.
funny as hell though. I love like when the dad reveals that he's a werewolf too. And I'm just like, what?
It's just fun and comedic.
Yeah. But there's like no explanation to anything, and it's just I love
You don't-
watching.
You don't need an explanation.
Yeah,
though.
apparently,
No,
yeah, of
you don't
course.
need
It's
one.
the 80s. You don't need anything
Exactly.
really.
No.
Yeah. You just need not Michael J.
that's
Fox
nice.
in a werewolf costume. That's about it. I also saw the Blob, 1988 Blob with
Cool.
Kevin Dillon, which
actually
is
never
Matt
seen it.
Matt Dillon's
I
brother.
have not seen that.
It was hilarious. I saw it with my friend Casey, and he was just talking so much smack on Kevin Dillon. It was so funny. Just hearing his comments, so just like he just looks dumb. I'm like, okay. He had the greatest hair ever too in that.
Okay.
Also, this isn't horror, but actually, I also went out to the theaters and saw Blade Runner 2049.
You see,
I saw that too.
That was great. Yeah, it was a fun movie. It was
Underwhelmed.
yeah, it was a lot of people got
I
mixed
feel
reviews.
bad to say that, but I'm like,
To be honest, I actually fell asleep within the first 30 minutes.
Well, it's really
I blinked a
long.
lot.
But that was only because I was like in a really deep-seated food coma. Like I had eaten at Chili's for the first time earlier that
What
day.
time did you see it at?
We saw like around 8, I
Okay.
believe.
And plus, it's gonna be a long movie. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it
It's
yet.
2 hours and 44 minutes, if you
Okay.
guys are wondering. The
It's
first one
very
is
long.
under 2 hours. No. See, there's nothing wrong with a long movie. You can be super engaging. Like, I watch Bollywood movies. Those movies are like 3 hours long. But you got to be engaged in it.
Yeah.
Inside Man, that's a great long movie that you don't notice is long. But this one, it's very slow paced. So just be ready for that.
Yeah, it's
It's
more
still cool, visually stunning. Yes.
definitely more art than like action packed.
It is not an action sci-fi at all.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. It's noir.
It's
sci-fi.
more of a noir.
Yeah.
I'll get around to seeing it.
Also, one movie that this would be like, I don't want to
90.
really bring it up, but
Early
it's
2000s.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
That
2013.
bad? I
2003.
liked it.
I hated it. I did not like
So, but it was like funny bad. It's like the Mortal Kombat bad. You know,
it. It
how they
wasn't.
made the Mortal
Well, I don't know.
Kombat
It
movie?
was
alright.
It was towards the end of my night, and I was just like, okay, we're gonna watch this.
It's all right.
And yeah, this was after I saw Teen Wolf and The Blob, and then I went over to someone's house and we saw this. And originally I wanted to watch Pumpkinhead, but they suggested this, and I was like,
Oh no,
all
you should
right,
have done Pumpkinhead.
let's watch this.
Oh, wait.
I gave in. I was like, all right, let's do
Yeah.
this. I didn't.
I was totally thinking about something else. You said
Oh.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that?
that's Rob Zombie directed. I
thinking
think it's
about
his
House-
first film. I'm not sure.
I was thinking about the video game. The video game.
Oh, yeah,
House
no.
of the Dead.
House of the Dead. That's
No.
bad.
House of the Dead is.
bad.
I've seen that movie.
It started off as the
was
shooting
so
game
bad.
in arcades, right?
Yeah.
And
That was a
Chucky-
fun game.
By Uwe Boll, which is like he's notorious for making like really bad
Oh, they are rough.
movie,
Yes.
video game movie games,
Yeah.
movie. I
House
can't
of
even
a
talk.
Thousand Corpses is a very quintessential like early 2000s. You're like, yeah, it has that vibe. I was almost gonna say I'm like it's 90s, but I'm like no, 2003. So no. It just is it's very torture porn.
Yeah.
Hillbillies doing
Yeah.
bad stuff. Kind of a movie, little one note in that way. But it was fine. And then Devil's Reject is the spinoff off of that,
yeah.
and that one's cool.
I've seen like I haven't seen all of Devil's Rejects, but like I caught something when I was
Mm-hmm.
a kid, and I was like thinking back on it. I like what I saw from Devil's Rejects more than what I saw
Yeah.
from
Okay.
Corpse.
Okay.
Because
Fair enough.
it just Devil's Reject actually looks cinematic. This looks like a made-for-TV, like really lame looking. Like it does not look cinematic whatsoever. And then I
Okay.
just feel like he was just like trying to be like really like, oh yeah, let's put all this
It's
cool
just
stuff
gore
in here.
and like
Yeah.
violence for violence.
And it has really like just
And it
shots
didn't-
that are just not really tasteful for me.
And
Like,
I
they're
don't
just-
think
they
like
don't.
yeah, I personally am not a fan of like torture porn. Some people, you know, they're Saw and like some Saws are good, okay.
Yeah.
But also I feel like if you're gonna do like that torture porn route, there has to be some kind of payoff. And I felt like
Hostel has that for me.
a good way.
Like, have you seen Hostel?
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, spoiler,
And-
but not spoiler. Like
It's been
torture
out.
porn,
Yeah.
and they get revenge. So
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
good, okay.
Right. It's not
That's
just
a good,
people
agree.
get
yeah, that's a
dying.
good way of
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
But I feel like but I guess it kind of transitioned into Devil's Reject where they did kind of like it kind of paid off after
Yeah.
all that. So, but
I
yeah.
gotta watch that one now. And then the last movie I saw, I didn't mention it last week. I saw it about 2 weeks ago at Beyond Fest at the Egyptian. Was Suspiria, and I actually bought this really cool shirt.
I was
there.
hearing
I don't know
good
if you
stuff
can
about
see it.
that one.
It's like one of the most beautiful looking horror films I've ever seen. It's like the colors are amazing. It's really like high contrast, or like really high saturated colors.
Nice.
And it's directed by Dario Argento, a famous Italian filmmaker who's done a lot of horror films, and I want to see more of his work. But yeah, when it was in a 4K restoration, the screen was so huge. It was amazing. I loved it.
And that was in LA you went to?
What was that?
Where was it in?
That was in at the Egyptian Theater off
okay.
of Hollywood Boulevard.
Nice.
Yeah. So those were my films that I saw. What did you guys see the past week or 2 weeks?
I did see Blade Runner 2049, and I watched the original.
The anime. Oh, wait, the
and I
original.
watched the bridge films.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Just so if you guys don't know, between the original Blade Runner film and 2049, there are three. I think there's three films to watch that kind of bridge the gap. There's an anime one, and then 2 live action ones. The anime kind of talks about the blackout, which is a thing that they bring up in the new movie. There's one that's like a business deal thing, so it's not hugely important, but kind of. And then there's another one that's a character that's in the new film. So that's kind of cool because you get his introduction. I I had to look it up on my Netflix. I'm like, what was the name? I watched Tales of Halloween. I didn't really like it.
Okay.
Though somebody's like, oh, it's a really good horror anthology. The concept is really cool where it's like they have this 3D almost like pop-up book map. And the intro of the movie is them going around to the different points on the map and like showcasing a visual about the story, and it has like the directed by. So they're kind of giving the credits to all of them in advance. But that was a very cool visual to like go around the town and see how these people are connected.
Like a
yeah, it's so
book.
cool.
Oh.
And some of the stories were good, but overall most of them were like, I just didn't care. And like ABC's The Death, I liked both of those.
Right.
I watched those
Oh
a while
my
ago.
gosh, yeah.
Have you seen?
You actually.
Yeah. I that's what I saw. ABCs of Death.
Did you watch
liked
1
it?
and 2?
I only saw the first one because it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Is the second one on Netflix? I didn't see it.
Ooh, I don't know. It
I
might
didn't-
have been.
I didn't even know there was a sequel.
Yeah.
I don't think the second one's on Netflix.
But there's 26 of them
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
in a
each letter
whole
of the
episode.
alphabet.
Yes. And but the thing is, they can be short. So if you don't like it, it's almost over.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
like Tales of Halloween, there were segments where I'm like, I know. So I'd say maybe miss it. On my list though that I have that I want to watch is XX, which
Oh
was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
All
haven't-
female directed.
Yeah.
I started watching
Horror
the first
shorts.
one of the first part of the film, and then I just fell asleep. And
Oh, no.
not that it was bad.
Yeah.
But I just haven't.
You were tired?
I haven't gotten around to finish it.
And that's definitely on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that has all of the directors are female, right? For
Yeah.
for each story in that. So.
Then Train to Busan I have on my list.
I've seen that.
Which
Good.
did you know there's an anime prequel?
Oh, I didn't know
I have
that.
not watched that yet.
I like these anime
Anime
prequels.
prequels.
All
Yes,
right.
it's a great way to like make a prequel.
Is it on
That's funny.
Crunchyroll?
Well, actually, I was gonna say a free service that I just found out about kind of more recently. And I wanted to let you guys know about because I was talking to some people and they're like, "What is it called?" And like, I've never heard of that.
VR. Oh,
No,
VRV.
Shudder.
Oh, Shudder. Oh, yeah.
So I was telling you about it a little bit. So it's a website called Shudder, and you can watch it through your Amazon Prime on your PlayStation. I don't like watching stuff on my computer that much. I want to
Yeah.
sit. I'm like, I got a big TV. I want to watch it on the TV.
Same.
But otherwise, you can watch Shudder on your computer. You can do a month free, and it's all horror movies. That's it. That's all they have, and so it's a great like location
Perfect.
for those of you out there watching this show. And
Yes.
that's where I saw the anime. I haven't watched it yet, but I added it to my list. The Train to Busan
Oh,
prequel.
cool. Yeah,
So
I
they kind of
gotta-
explain how it went down.
I gotta get on that too, because when I went to Beyond Fest, they actually had a person while we were waiting in line to go in. They had a person who was repping because Shudder hosted that at the Egyptian.
Nice.
They do the Beyond Fest. So she gave me a free month of Shudder free month of
awesome.
Shudder, and then afterwards it's only like $5. And
That's not bad.
It's
Yeah.
practically like
Cheaper than
Netflix, but
Netflix.
like for horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
a
So it's
lot
like
of
legit
variety.
horror.
Yeah, because Netflix, there's like no horror. There's
Or
some
they're
good ones, but
bad.
Yeah.
there's
They're all B,
there's-
And these-
C, D.
yeah, the
horror
selection
movies.
is very bad.
Shudder
so-
actually
Win.
curates the movies and stuff.
Yeah, they have
So
film
it's like-
festival ones. They have around the world, and it's kind of cool too because you can look and see more thematically, like vampires. Sorry, that's the most basic one I thought of. But there's like so many like subcategories. So if you're like,
Werewolves,
I'm into
slasher.
this,
Yeah.
then you can go look at all those.
perfect.
Yeah, they have
collections, there we go,
I was
yeah.
looking through the app, and they have collections where they have like zombies, like Feast for Brains. Like they have nice little names for them, and then it gives a description of what it is.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch, and I looked through almost all of them. And I was just like
Yeah.
started adding all these films and stuff.
I need
So-
to get into this because it's like Halloween season and like.
It's the perfect
Yeah,
time,
it's
and
a
then it's
perfect
year round. Also, that's my we talked. Sorry, ABC. I started American Horror Story. What are you on the newest season?
Yes.
I'm starting Roanoke. I'm behind.
Oh, okay, because that just came up on Netflix.
Okay,
and
yeah.
How do you
Well-
like it so far?
It's a little hard to get into.
I like it. I like it so much. I liked it so much because it was a It's like a documentary.
Yes,
feel.
it's interesting for sure.
I don't know how far you're into.
I'm
it.
only like two. Actually, I think I only watched like one episode. But that's what I mean. I want to
Okay.
see where it goes.
Yeah.
I like that they've changed up the concept.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
I with that.
I love it.
But we'll
But-
see where it goes.
There's definitely a change in like
Oh,
the middle of the season. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, no, totally. I have a friend who was on it, so I kind of know that
Okay.
some of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They were on the documentary team or something like that.
Cool.
Kind of plug because they plugged us. Go watch the Scare Guy,
Oh,
part
yeah.
of the Popcorn Talk Network. We had
Naomi
Naomi Grossman
Grossman?
last
Yeah.
night, who plays Pepper from
Oh,
season
that is so
Asylum
awesome.
and Freak Show on
Oh my
last night
gosh.
on that.
Yeah,
That's
she was
awesome.
a delight. That
She
was a great
fun,
show
yeah.
too.
So go to find that on Popcorn.
I actually engineered
One of the
that
best.
show.
Yeah,
last
I was like,
night.
you're part of that too.
Yeah, so I was
Honestly,
like,
one of the best American Horror Story characters ever.
Yeah,
Pepper.
and like one of the few that's the same character when they come back. So, yeah. Anyway, so I think that's what I watched. I didn't watch too. Oh, and then I'm continuing to watch Tokyo Ghoul.
Nice.
I would totally keep plugging that movie because it's so good. Actually, I just showed my friend the trailer today. It looks like it's in theaters October 16th through the. Or something. I forget the first day. It's only a limited release, so it's through the 22nd. So go check out your smaller theaters.
I would guess ArcLights usually have limited release.
Okay,
films.
cool. Yeah, or anything that curates foreign films or stuff like that. It's really good. It is, if people have no idea what I'm talking about, Tokyo Ghoul is based on anime and a manga, and don't worry, it's actually really good. Too many anime to live action look really bad, but it's really good.
Cool.
Way to go, Japan.
Yes,
Love you.
and because it is a Japanese one.
Right on. All right, so let's get into our first
Wait,
bit
did
of
you have any other
news.
ones?
Well, we kind of covered them. You know,
Okay.
I'm turning into American Horror Story. I
Yep.
feel like it's a little slow. It's interesting, but I feel like with this particular season, I'm like drawn in. But I don't think as a whole, looking back, I'm like, do I like this season?
Okay.
But I think it's just a season. You know, it's very political. I think
Yes.
after, we just have to see where it goes because I
Yeah.
really don't know where they're going with it right now. But it is getting a lot creepier because I feel like past episodes of this particular season, Cult wasn't like substantial. It wasn't horror, I guess. It was almost too political.
Okay.
But what am I saying? Because it's based off, the election of Donald Trump getting,
That's a horror story on
Yeah,
itself.
yeah, yeah,
in and
yeah.
of itself, yeah.
But also we talked about the ABCs of Death.
Yep.
Which is a very interesting film. Like that's about it that I watched for this week. But
Did you notice somehow, I'm like, I jokingly would say some of the directors cheated because they did their letter but their language.
yeah,
Because I was like, hey,
Yeah.
like they get the weirdest obscure letter, but it totally works in their language.
it's
So-
kind of cool how they all kind of
fun.
collaborated.
Yeah.
But some of the films I didn't really like.
but it's nice because they're almost over, right? They're short.
True, that's very true. So I can't like discredit these directors, but it's not something that I don't know. It's like I would recommend it, but I also wouldn't recommend it. I'm just interested in seeing what other people, because some of those stories were dark.
Stick with
Yeah.
it because there's 26 stories, so if you don't like
Yeah.
one, it's okay. There's 25 more.
Yeah, so that's true.
There's some really good like hidden gems. In
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
there's even like a claymation one. There's a cartoon, so it is pretty cool. It's just a lot to take in,
Yeah.
But yeah,
And they don't tell you the name till after at the end.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. Like, what's
Yeah.
the word?
Oh my
So
god,
they-
fart.
what I
No,
did.
beaver.
No, was it
No,
F,
Badger.
F for fart was ridiculous for me, and it was made by a Japanese director.
Oh my god,
And it
I'm
was
remembering
hilarious.
the one.
Oh my God.
I was yeah.
Death by fart.
But that was something that I did enjoy watching. It was like kind of while you're watching the short or whatever.
You're like, what's the word?
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, okay, is it fart, flatulence, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that was fun about it. So it's on Netflix, so check it out if you're interested.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. News time?
Yes.
News time, everybody. All right. First bit of news. So restored by the Museum of Modern Arts and the Film Foundation, Night of the Living Dead gets a 4K restoration, and they actually showed this at Beyond Fest. I didn't realize it. So, but because in the article I read, it says it does starting October 13th. The restoration will be hitting the road. But yeah, there was one screening beforehand, and yeah, it was showed at Beyond Fest. But there is another. If you live locally in LA, there is another screening coming on, I believe, the 21st, and I added the links to the overall country wide the screenings for the countrywide and also the screening for the LA one in our YouTube description. So if you just scroll down a bit in our description, then you can find them there. But yeah, it was supervised by the late George A. Romero, Gary Striner, who's part of the sound department on the Night of the Living Dead. Also, Russ Striner, who is a producer and also the actor, who says they're coming to get you, Barbara. So he overlooked it. And last but not least, John Russo, who was the writer of the film. And it was Jonas Films who acquired the rights for the theatrical distribution. And so it's hitting the road on the 13th. So it might come to a theater near you. I would suggest watch it because it's such a classic piece of horror cinema. And also in 4K restoration, it just looks so beautiful. I mean, I just saw Suspiria in 4K, and I was just just drooling at some of the shots.
Well,
It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys got to watch that
I
movie.
have to get up on that.
And so on to another bit. So production for The Bride of Frankenstein has been shut down for
bummer.
now. Yeah, I believe it is coming back. A source from Deadline. It stopped production about 5 days ago on October 5th, and the film is gonna feature Javier Bardem and also Angelina Jolie as the bride, and Bardem is gonna be the Frankenstein's monster.
Cool.
So that's interesting. He already has like a very like kind of
Yeah.
Boris Karloff kind of very.
And Angelina Jolie's her face already seems very Bride of
Yeah.
Frankenstein, so it's gonna be really interesting to see how that translates into modern day, or if it's gonna be set in the modern day.
Yeah, I know. I'm
so
not
they
sure
could-
about that one.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see for more details on that. We'll definitely be covering some more news on that if
Yeah.
anything comes about. And it's supposed to be directed by Bill Condon. That's way too close to condom. But sorry, Will Condon, yes. And it is speculated that they're going back to the script, going to work on the script more to, in a sense, make it cheaper. Because of what happened with The Mummy, of how bloated it was of a film to be made, and then how much money it didn't really
Yeah.
make.
That's probably smart.
Yeah, that's what
Stop
I'm
now
thinking.
before you get too far.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're about to start shooting, and they're like, well, let's just wait a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Let's
there's
look at
we also have a statement from Universal saying that after thoughtful consideration, Universal Pictures and director Bill Condon has decided to postpone Bride of Frankenstein. None of us want to move too quickly to meet a release date when we know this special movie needs more time to come together. Bill is a director whose enormous talent has been proven time and again, and we will all look forward to continue to working with him on this film together. Yes, and there was also
We're all like,
I know. It's just really interesting because I've never even heard of this film until this
Really?
rundown
Oh,
was
yeah.
made. I didn't know it
I
was in
heard a little
production.
bit.
I believe it was part of the announcement when they announced all of the Dark Universe things of
Yeah.
how like it's gonna be the Invisible Man played by Johnny Depp,
Okay.
and so I think it was about a part of that
That's
announcement.
cool.
So yeah, this was supposed to be the second film slated for that Dark Universe franchise, but they're kind of being like, hey, let's wait a bit. Maybe we should slow our roll here.
Oh, did you see that Mummy? I didn't see the Mummy. So
I
maybe
didn't
that
see
says-
it either.
I
maybe
saw
that
the
says
Mummy.
something. And it was bloated. Was it? Did you?
No, it was not great.
Just chunks.
Some of there was cool action like set pieces, but overall it was not that great of a film.
Brendan
yeah.
Fraser one's way better. No.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
actually,
I was like, that was so good.
Absolutely.
I went
I-
back and I saw that movie like the same week, Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser, The Mummy, just to get like the
Yeah.
taste of the Tom Cruise Mummy
Yeah.
out of my mouth. Yeah,
Well,
that
that
still
one,
stands
the Brendan
strong.
Fraser one has just such a good mix
So
of
good.
adventure, fun, and horror.
Yeah.
Which is like what you want from like the Mummy. You're like, oh, they're going on like exploration and stuff like that.
Whereas this one was just very dark and gritty and just kind of like no sense of humor to me.
Yeah.
And granted, I didn't see it, but that's what what I was reading and researching about. And also, I just can't get behind Tom Cruise personally. That's just me.
Not for that movie.
I
I'm not a
enjoy the
Tom-
Cruise.
I'm not a Cruise fan. I'm
like
not a
him, but-
TC fan.
I still kind of want to go watch American Made, but
Oh, see, like that? Yes, he seems great fit for the Mummy, though. I was like,
no, they were just more banking on him.
star
Yeah,
accountability. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Bring
like,
him in.
ugh, don't come on. And also, yeah, the humor in the Mummy, like Tom Cruise's The Mummy, is just so bad. Like, it just felt so.
Tom Cruise doesn't have like
felt so
or,
flat.
Not to say he doesn't have personality, but he doesn't have like a sense of humor. I feel like so. Like he doesn't.
He's in
smile.
so many comedies.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that famous video where he gets like squirted in the face from the microphone? And he's like, why would you do that? Like, yeah, like switches like crazy. Like it's like, oh man, this guy's maybe
Wow.
stable. Yeah, it's a fun video.
Okay.
And then so we're on to this is the first segment. It's premiering right now. It's called The Crypt.
Yay!
So this segment, yep. So we're actually all of us are just going into our, I guess in a sense, our crypt of movies and seeing what movies we think are worth sharing with an audience for everyone to enjoy. Who would like to go first? I'll go first and no one else does.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
You set the pace.
All right. So all right. So for this one, my film I chose was Possession, and it's categorized as a drama horror, and it's directed by Andrzej Zulawski, and it came out in 1981, and it stars Sam Neill and Isabella John, and they're both so amazing in this film. I love them. It's so good. So the synopsis is: a woman starts exhibiting increasingly disturbing behavior after asking her husband for a divorce. Suspicions of infidelity soon give way to something much more sinister. and my God, is it sinister.
Okay.
It is so good. And why do I like it? I like it because it's amazing watching these two characters just slowly go mad because they can't be with each other anymore. And Ajani, and if you can bring up the last frame of the picture you have up right now, if you can bring that up. That's like the ending frame, and the ending shot, and I love this shot so much. Like when you see it in context, you're just like, oh yes, like it's just madness by this point. And then the next one is one of the best acting I've seen, like practically of all time, just going mad. Wow. And this is Isabella John. She actually won an award for this at the Cannes, one of the Cannes festivals that it would be premiered at back in '81. And this subway scene is something to just wow. And this is like this is a like very tame scene, like compared to what you see later on. But it's insanity, and it's just such a good film.
So it is about demonic possession. Not just going crazy.
I think he doesn't want to give it away.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like, oh my God.
It's kind of symbolic in a sense, but
that's cool. I like that.
Like there's a huge reveal where you're just like, wait, what? And then you're not sure, and then like as the movie keeps going, it's like, oh, so they are doing that. Like,
okay,
you're just like,
that's cool. Like I love open to interpretations or stuff like that. Give you your own, take on a film.
Yeah,
if that's what it is.
And why people should watch it is because Isabella Johnny's performance is so good, especially in that subway scene. Like she goes full on nuts. Like wow.
Cool.
So that's my film, The Possession, or just Possession by Andrzej Zulawski. Anyone?
I was gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't have pictures for mine.
It's all right.
I'll just read mine. I would, only because I was talking about this recently a lot, so it came to my mind. I think I brought it up before, but now we can talk more in depth too. Pontypool, and everyone always, when you say that name, they're like, "What?" So it's Pontypool, and it's a city. It's the name of a city in Canada. It came out in 2008. It's spelled Pontypool. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
I do remember coming across that, yeah.
It's really good, so I'll just read their synopsis because I'm like, yeah, I do slightly warn on anybody looking up synopsises on anything. Sometimes they give away stuff. I always get nervous. On Netflix, I've read them, and I'm like, oh, you totally gave it away.
Yeah,
but I'm like, no, this is good. So it's about this radio host, and he intercepts the possible outbreak of a deadly virus which infects the small town of Ontario where he's stationed. So pretty much it's this like radio host, and they're hearing about the zombie outbreak kind of happening in town. But it's so cool because it's almost like a play because they stay at the radio station most of the movie.
Oh, nice.
And they stay like almost in their booth most of the movie. And it's really creative because it's like a zombie movie without a lot of zombies. Oh, yeah, here we go. So this is the main guy.
This looks so familiar.
What's his name? Stephen McHattie. And then Lisa Houle. I'm sorry if I say her name wrong. So she's kind of like his producer. And so their relationship's really fun because he's like, they're doing like regular people. And then weird stuff happens. But again, since they're not seeing it, they're kind of like, okay, maybe so-and-so is just like drunk or whatever. They're just prank calling us. And then it starts closing in. And then try not to look up stuff on this one because I don't want anything to give away. Like how the zombiness spreads is very creative with this movie. And it's really exciting and engaging. It's just a really good film.
Yeah, it sounds like a great take on the zombie genre.
Yeah, it's very refreshing because you're not like, oh, I've totally seen this 50 million times.
I did see I believe it was like BBC. It was like an English short. It was a short series that kind of has the same premise where there's a zombie outbreak, but it's kind of like a Big Brother kind of production. So they have people in a house that don't know what's going on outside while there's a zombie virus going on. And the zombies like slowly make their way to the like where they're at. And they still don't know what's going on.
Is it like an experiment kind of?
I don't know. It was only like 6 episodes. They're each about 30 minutes long. I can't remember what it's called.
I'll think of it for next time.
Yeah.
But I guess why?
I guess I'll tweet about it.
Yeah. Why do I like it and why you should watch it? It's just it's a really cool zombie movie, and I know we've all seen a bunch of them, so it was nice to be different.
Yeah.
And the acting is also great and just really fun, and the chemistry between the two leads. There's other employees and there's other people that are like guests to the radio station, and they're cool too. But just like very kind of almost claustrophobic feel
Yeah.
too, because they stay at the station. So.
It's an intimate setting for like
Yeah.
a zombie film, which like
Exactly.
that never happens.
No
Yeah.
running, you know,
Unless
mainly.
it's like an episode of Walking Dead that's super slow.
Yeah.
But like that sounds really
No.
cool and it sounds really familiar. Like that picture we showed. I'm like, I've seen this. I haven't seen it, but I've seen like a clip or something.
Nice.
All right, and for yours, Oliver?
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Monster. It's 2016 drama horror directed by Brian Bertino. Have you guys seen
I
it?
actually
I don't
haven't. I've been
think
meaning.
so.
It's on my Amazon queue.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime.
I don't know if it's like an indie, but it's not.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, it's not really mainstream. A lot of people don't know about this film. It stars Zoe Kazan as the mother Kathy, and Ella Ballantine as Lizzie the daughter. And it's a very small cast. You know, we're basically following the mom and the daughter in this film, and the mom is abusive. She's an alcoholic, so there's that dynamic that they're going through this horror.
So she's a monster. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I love about this film. It's kind of like, yeah, she's this monster, but they're put into like this life-threatening situation. You know, I'll read the synopsis. I can't even say that word. Synopsis. A mother and daughter must confront a terrifying monster when they break down on a deserted road.
Ooh.
And you know, having this relationship of being very rocky, but yet you're thrown into this very dangerous situation. And it just shows like this mother does love her daughter. She wants to keep her alive, yet being so abusive. And I think that's, you know, you're seeing like these different sides of this horrible mom, but yet she still loves her kid and she wants, you know, to take care of her. And then you have this monster thrown into it. So it just flips these characters. You see the good and bad in everyone, and even the child. You know, the child's not innocent. You know, she's a little brat, but like the acting's superb. And it's just like, I love when movies have like a small cast. You're only following these two characters basically, and they really hold on. They really carry this movie, you know.
Cool.
And the monster's pretty creepy, and it's very simple. You know, horror movies try sometimes to be so over the top and juggle so many things, but I felt like this movie, I definitely recommend it because of how linear it is and just what it represents and the struggles of horrors and of motherhood, basically. And you guys check it out and tell me what you think next.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I want to make
That'll
it.
be our homework to each other.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm gonna watch
It's
Pontypool,
really cool.
I'm gonna watch
It's
The
really
cool.
Monster then. Let's do it.
And then, yeah, I'll go check out Possession.
All right, on to the next bit of news. I'm gonna try to speed it up a bit. So pretty much, John Carpenter confirms that the new Halloween movie. Previously, last week I stated that it was gonna be after the Halloween 2, but it's actually they're gonna can that, so it's only gonna be after the first Halloween movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be taking place after the first Halloween movie. And there's a quote from Carpenter himself, because he's the one who he was talking with Stereogum, who revealed, and he states, Laurie Strode comes to her final confrontation with Mike Myers, a masked figure who has haunted her since she narrowly escaped his killing spree on Halloween night for 4 decades. So, yeah, it turns out that's just pretty
That
much
sounds
it.
cool.
Yeah,
I
so
like
it's
that
going to
idea.
be after. And then, a big part of what the second film was that there's a reveal that Laurie Strode is actually Michael Myers' sister. Right. So I'm guessing she might not be his sister
Yeah,
now.
they're just going to change it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's just gonna be
Or
like a head-to-head duel kind of
Yeah,
thing.
she still could possibly. It just depends what they're trying to do with this film, you know.
Yeah.
Because the second one, that was, I'm sorry, I'm getting all messed up. That was the hospital one, right? Was that of Halloween or no?
I don't know if I watched
I remember the
second
first one ends at a hospital with it blowing
Yeah.
I
up.
thought the
There's
first
part-
one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
No, when you watch a franchise of all of them,
Yeah,
you're like,
dude.
wait.
together.
They get
Hold on.
mushed.
Especially if you watch a lot of them all together,
Yeah.
you're like, wait, which
could've
happened
s-
when?
I could have
Yeah.
swore the
Yeah.
first one ended, and then of her going to the hospital, and the second one is the hospital. But I could,
Which would make sense because that's where.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. if
Well,
I
we gotta
remember
revisit the second one.
correctly. We are.
Leave comments down below, all you super horror fans.
Go ahead. Hey.
No. Verify.
Bad horror
You're
fan.
a researcher.
Verifier, please.
Okay.
All right. Next thing is coming from Empire Film Podcast. Ridley Scott was talking with them, and pretty much stating that the next possible Alien Covenant sequel will not be really focusing on the xenomorphs, but more on David, the I don't know what you would call him, but he's like the AI cyborg.
yeah.
But he's not really human, so I guess he's full manufactured robot.
Yeah, it was like Cyborg, you still have human.
Right. That's what I was
Cyborg,
thinking.
you're.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AI works.
So,
Android. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Right?
so Ridley Scott said, I think the evolution of the alien himself is nearly over, but what I was trying to do was transcend and move to another story which would be taken over by AIs. The world that that the AI might create as a leader if he finds himself onto a new planet. We have actually quite a big layout for the next one. Because have you guys seen Alien Covenant?
No,
The
I
ending.
wasn't really
Okay.
interested.
All right.
I
there's-
watched that trailer and I was so annoyed with them walking on a planet and they don't know this planet and they're like not wearing safety gear. And then the other new Alien movie, like, let me go touch the thing. I'm a scientist, but I'm gonna touch it with my bare. No.
Yeah,
I'm just already out. I'm like, nope.
There's a good amount of I guess plot holes you could say.
Just drives me
I heard,
nuts.
I heard like the trailer. Basically, they show all the good scenes in the trailer. That's what I
Oh.
heard. So that's why I didn't
I
check
think
it
the
out.
only
I
part I
guess
liked
so.
was the girl from Dragon Tattoo with like her trying to get the alien out.
Was
That
that-
scene was awesome.
Oh, the abortion scene.
yeah,
Is that
the other
right?
one,
Yeah.
not the Covenant, the one before that.
Prometheus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That
that was
was-
awesome.
Yeah.
But
Rooney-
otherwise, so many dumb things. in that
Rooney
You
one.
should-
Mara? Is that her?
I think it's Rooney Mara because she just
Or is
came
that-
out.
No, that's not
No?
her. No.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look it up.
Who's the one who like just came out of the new Netflix original, which is
Oh.
What Happened to Monday?
What happened to Monday? Oh
I need
my
to watch
God.
that.
Yeah, her.
Nomi.
Naomi
Rapace, yeah.
Rapace. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That
see?
was a good movie.
Yeah.
Too.
I need to watch that.
Oh,
I
you
want
were
to
right.
watch
It is
that.
Rooney Mara. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Rooney Mara is in the remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
All
what
right,
it
on.
is. I'm
We were
only
bo-
talking about original.
We were both right. Technically.
That's like when you see a 6. Have you guys seen that image? It's a 6 or a 9, and there's two people standing on it, and they're like 6, 9, but you're standing on opposite sides.
Yeah, that's funny.
I haven't watched that yet, but that's also on my queue. Is What Happened to Monday.
Yeah, I mean,
Please
in my
watch it.
opinion, he should have just gone with where he was going with Prometheus. It was supposed to be I can't remember her name. The you've seen whoever survived at the end of Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to go off and find the land of the engineers, which they do in a sense in Alien Covenant, but
Right,
they
yeah.
kind of like wipe whatever.
Yeah, and they
It's
just go back to the xenomorphs, right?
Yeah, and I think it would have been nice just to
Yeah.
see the engineer homeland. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
go with that direction. Kind of just make it, because it's not Prometheus aliens. It's Prometheus. It's like completely different. They did a little ode to the alien, but then in the second one it goes back to Alien Covenant, and I
Right.
was just like, what?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool seeing them be like original, but then that originality was just set up for something that was, kind of like, well, it's been done. Xenomorphs, alien, but I don't know where I'm going with
Yeah.
this.
No, you're
but I guess that was basically
That's the point.
Yeah, that was basically it. I feel like it was just something
You
else. I
set it
wanted
up,
to
yeah.
say.
Well, we have a comment from Twitter. So someone tweeted at our horror news PTN. It looks like Kylextron. Sorry. Wasn't that the whole point of Covenant, and also why it sucked? I want to see alien terrorizing people in space. It's not that hard.
Oh yeah.
I would love to
See,
see that
yeah.
too.
I think that's why he was pressured to do Alien Covenant, because people wanted
Wanna
the
see
xenomorphs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like how he says here, like he's trying to transcend and move to another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm
Then
all
do
for
that.
that. Yeah, I'm all for that. Like, leave the xenomorphs behind if you like. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Make it a different, in a sense, I guess, IP in the same universe. Maybe be an alien universe now. I don't know. But there's that. And then quick update on Todd McFarlane's Spawn via Deadline announced at the New York Comic Con on October 5th that it will go into pre-production after Christmas and it'll start actual production on February 2018. So it starts on 2018, so it takes about a couple months to film. So do you think we'll get it by 2018? I think
Edits.
so.
Well, just filming, edit, post, and all this stuff. I'm gonna go 2019.
19? Probably
Yeah.
early 19.
I really
Did I
like
say
the
that?
quote.
I'm not sure if I said the release date already last week.
No, I don't think they had one yet.
Continuity with the show. And so there's that. And there's a fun little quote by
Love that
McFarlane.
quote. Reading
Yeah, by McFarlane himself. He says, "I'm spending my own money, so who cares if it doesn't work out? It's a $10 million budget movie, and a studio would just get a 22-year-old punk director. I just
my
want to be
gosh.
that old punk directing it."
Yes!
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. I
him.
love that. I was
Take
like,
over
yeah,
it. Yes, it
get
sounds so fun.
And then another little bit of news, Jason Blum was talking to Cinepop, and he said he'd be open to rebooting the Paranormal Activity franchise. So rebooting the Paranormal Activity franchise, which is ridiculous to me. I don't
Why?
know.
They're
Exactly.
done.
Like, come on, we're over it. And,
Over it.
I don't know what can you do with that.
I don't know. He joked
To
that
a
if
brand new people, I don't know.
Yeah, he joked if Christopher Landon had an idea, he would love to hear it. And Christopher Landon wrote 4 of the films and directed The Ghost Dimension.
I saw the first, and then I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah, right.
I didn't love it. I watched it with Blair Witch Project, actually. My friend and I watched Blair Witch Project and that.
Which one
and
do you like more? Blair Witch?
Blair Witch.
Yeah, good choice.
Yes.
Good choice.
Can
But
we
it's
just
creepier going out in the woods.
Yeah.
But
Whereas, like, this is a
paranormal
nice,
is fine. It
safe
just takes
house.
forever to get to.
Yeah, what if they
It
just
is-
did like paranormal with like monsters or something, like something different in a sense.
There you go. That'd be fine. Change it up.
Yeah, like how
Yeah.
about like an actual like just a classic movie monster
Yeah.
that they make
Mm-hmm.
being terrorizing people, and then that would go into a franchise. It'd be like the second one, and it's a different monster. Oh,
Yes.
what's his little gimmick? Like,
But it's just like Paranormal Activity is like a very, it's kind of like a household name. So it's like
It
you're
is
kind
now.
of, you're
yeah,
like,
they're
you're
like, oh, we can make
milking
money.
it. Yeah,
Well, because
exactly.
they spent so little money and they made so much back.
And it's actually
so.
the film that put Blumhouse on the map because of how much money it made. They're like, oh man.
But I feel it
I think it probably was also the reboot too of found footage style.
Oh yeah,
like going back to
the
that.
revival found
Yeah,
footage
revival.
style.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Cloverfield did it best.
And then also
I love Cloverfield.
just a little touch on the Conjuring spin-offs originating from the Conjuring 2, I believe. The Crooked
Yes.
Man is getting a spin-off as
So
well
excited.
as the Nun. So that's the Crooked Man, and that's actually none of the scenes with the Crooked Man was CGI. It was all practical effects, so that's all like made, which I love, and I actually love like I wanted to see more of the Crooked Man. So like
He's so
because
good.
he looks
He's like
so
6,
crazy.
7?
Yeah, and he's very slim. He's
He's
kind of like
so
Slender Man.
Slender
Yeah.
Man with a
Yeah,
mouth.
but with the mouth, yeah.
Yes.
And like he's got some toot. It looks like he's got
Yeah,
some
it's a
attitude
very
and some
dark
sassiness.
image. I
Yeah.
looked it up because are you guys I plugged it last night, but I'm like, because it's kind of cool. Did you guys hear about? Oh, you heard it last night. Have you heard of Inktober?
Oh, where you draw like each and every single day it's something
Yes.
new, right?
If you guys don't know, and actually a lot of the words are horror themed. So Inktober is a month-long thing. Every single day there's a word prompt, and you do a drawing in pen any way you want. And there's no real specifics. Draw whatever you want. But like one of the prompts the other day was crooked, so I started drawing the Crooked
nice.
Man. I haven't finished it. Yeah, now we're looking at Image of the Nun. At the premiere for it, one of the other hosts here, Rick, did an interview with the actress who is the nun, and they kind of talk a little bit about filming of that. So you guys should check that out. On just look up the it premiere on Popcorn Talk. No, I looked this up for the Crooked Man. I heard that, and because that was one of the really great characters I thought in Conjuring
Right.
2. He was super scary. There is no release date on it. It's going to be the same writers involved with the other franchise and directors of Conjuring. So in that universe of people who work on it, which they do a good job of. I almost say Conjuring 2 is better than 1, but they're different. It's a different kind of scary.
Yeah, true.
You got more monsters in the second one, so that's why I kind of
Right.
liked it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know Animal Creation that at the end, like the post-credit scene, that teased the nun.
Okay,
So,
cool. Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
And real quick, I'm just gonna run through. This is in a sense, it's a segment that we're gonna give you what the releases are for theatrical releases, and also just like some straight to like Netflix releases for horror movies.
Yeah.
And so I got about 4 movies here. So the first one is actually a theatrical release for Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
I'm looking
and
forward to that.
again, Christopher Landon is directing, which is the ghost I mentioned. And he also did Scout's Guide to the Zombie Survival Guide, which I personally love. That was hilarious, and also like a good amount of horror, gory, like gore and comedy, and good scenes. He also did Disturbia, which I personally still like too. I haven't seen it in a while, but
either of the-
yeah, they're,
my
you
gosh.
should check them out. They're great. Synopsis is a college student relives the day of her murder with both its unexceptional details and terrifying end until she discovers her killer's identity. So again, a lot of people have been saying Groundhog's
Groundhog
Day.
Day.
but
Wait,
with
I'm going to keep
feeling-
plugging my other movie, though.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard
Many
of...
Lives or-
No, The Deaths.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not lives. Everybody keeps saying Groundhog Day, which, yes, it's that Relive a Day. But the being killed every day, there's one of the 8 Films to Die For series. Do you guys remember when that was out? There was like a thing where it kept coming out. It was like 8 films. It was 8 indie films. So it's called The Deaths of Ian Stone, and he gets killed every single day. And then he's just trying to figure out like why does he keep being killed. It's really good. I don't know where you find it. That one was one I bought back in the day, but it's really good if you can find it. It's really kind of neat horror and other stuff.
Is
going
it the
on.
same day? Like it's the exact same day?
No,
or is
it's
it
a different day.
Oh, so,
Oh,
So
Monday,
it's
okay.
not
Tuesday, Wednesday,
the
Thursday.
Groundhog Day, but it's
Okay.
you're being killed every day.
Interesting.
But you sort
And
of
he
live your
keeps-
life.
Yeah, but he keeps kind of forgetting
Oh, okay.
too, and so then he starts remembering it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with this one. though.
Yes, I'm excited.
And the next film we have is MFA,
That's a sexy hair there.
directed by Natalia Liet.
That's Ramona Flowers.
Yeah, right. So it's about, let's see, an art house student taps into a rich source of creative inspiration after the accidental slaughter of her rapist. An unlikely vigilante emerges, set out to avenge college girls whose attackers walked free, all the while fueling a vivid thesis exposition. So it's kind of like a revenge thriller where like she was abused, she was raped, and then she actually goes and be like she murders the person that she rapes, and then she's like, hey, I can do this for people. Yeah.
All right.
That's the gist of it. Another one that I'm kind of looking forward to is Brawl in Cell Block 99. Director S. Craig Zahler. And he also wrote it. He also wrote and directed Bone Tomahawk, if you haven't seen that, with Kurt Russell. It's really interesting. I think I love that movie. Specifically because there's one death scene, R.I.P. Nick, from Bone Tomahawk. Whoever's seen it and remembers that death scene will remember what I'm talking about. So it's about a former boxer turned drug runner lands in a prison battleground after a deal gets deadly. So he's a boxer in prison, hence the Brawl and Cell Block 90. And Vince Vaughn
I watched the trailer and I did not recognize Vince Vaughn at all.
Yeah, he has a cool cross tattoo on the back of his neck. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, I forgot we had that.
Yeah, and then Jennifer Carpenter is also in that from Dexter. So
ooh, nice.
Pretty good cast.
Good addition. Yeah, and this one's actually I think it's a limited release on this one. I didn't look up the details on that. But it is coming out this weekend. And also, one that's coming to Netflix is The Babysitter.
Oh, yes.
Directed by McG. I think it's McG. He mainly is a producer who worked on supernatural, like shows such as Supernatural and Shadowhunters, to name a few. Yeah, and so the synopsis is, the events of one evening take an unexpected turn for the worst.
This does look so fun. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm like, oh yeah, that one. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So pretty much it's like the babysitter takes care of a kid. The kid, after he's supposed to be in bed, comes out to see what she's up to. And, he doesn't like what he sees.
Yeah.
But we're going to love it. It looks like...
I love all the horror archtypes. We have the cheerleader, the hot guy. We have, like, the blonde. She might be, like,
Even in that scene in the trailer, the kid's like, why is he shirtless?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what they said. They're like, doesn't matter.
It's so good.
No, that's what he goes, that's the first question you want to ask?
Yeah.
But then it's nice because it makes fun of itself.
It looks very kitschy, very zany, kind of where it's very. I always own it up to what is it? Evil Dead 2, where it's just like that comedy horror.
Yeah. But I would say careful watching the trailer because I think the trailer shows.
Yeah, you did.
It does a lot.
You did say it reveals a lot.
So watch if there's a shorter clip, I don't know, but
just go watch it.
Read the synopsis.
Just go watch it.
I can say the word finally.
Synopsis. Yeah, just read. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't like if I'm looking forward to a movie, I don't like to see too much.
Yeah,
of it.
Gives it away.
Especially even some trailer, I'm just like, nope, I'm already like for Mother, I was like, I'm good. Like I saw one trailer, I was like, I'm fine, I'm down for this. So this is another new segment we have today. I'll play it to the white. So this segment is called Death of the Week. So this is we're just showcase a little death of a film that we have possibly seen in the past, or just like if there's no film deaths in the films, we would just pick a random death that we love. For this one, it's from the Blob that I saw, directed by Chuck Russell, and this is a sink scene. So we're gonna go ahead and watch the sink scene right now. So it's coming up. This one right here. So yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I love how it's like a hand that reaches out, pulls him into the sink. Look at it. And then the sink, and then it comes a shoe comes out.
Oh my gosh.
And this is another one, but yeah, that was I thought that was great. That was so fun.
I think it was Outer Limits, and then if you guys know what this is from, I don't know. There's an episode of something where somebody's in their kitchen and this impossibly foot-long finger thing comes up out of the drain, is looking around, and someone's freaking out. And they try to kill it and break it, and then it comes back. And there's more to it, but I just remember that visual and was like, what the?
That's creepy.
But that's what made me think of. I'm like, that's the thing in the drain.
I think the Blob needed help from Pennywise, to open the drain.
Right. Open that up a bit.
The Blob still got him, so.
And I love how it feels like in the movie it feels like the Blob has character, it has a characteristics to it. And it's just so violent too. I love how the deaths are very violent in the Blob, and I love it. In the next scene where it's a phone booth scene, she just gets like, it's a quick cut of her just like getting overcome by the blob, just like very violently, just smashed. And it's just like, whew.
That's really cool because you wouldn't expect like a blob to, you
just like
Yeah, right?
over you. But then that was violent.
No,
I
yeah.
loved it.
And it's actually, and now I want to see, it makes me want to go back and rewatch the remake. Not the remake, the original of the Blob. I'm sure it's from like the 50s, maybe the 40s. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a remake of like a classic, the Blob, like those B movie kind of things, like them and stuff like that. All right, and so with our last couple seconds here, we'll just do quick shout outs to last week's episode. So we had Westy Kid. He says, congrats, you guys. You got your show. It's 12:17 a.m. here in the UK, and I have to sleep, but I'll check this out tomorrow.
Yes.
And it was actually, me and Oliver remember him from what was it? The watch-alongs that we did.
Yeah, he was always there.
Yeah, he was always with us, and I was like chatting him up for a while, too.
It was cool.
Yeah,
It was cool.
that's fine.
Anyone want to read the other ones?
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll skip that one because that's like whatever.
Okay.
So Sky Patterson said, my favorite horror films of all time and favorite guilty movie pleasures are John Carpenter's They Live and The Thing. Unfortunately, I picked two. You guys can pick more than one favorite. That's fine. I think it's so hard.
Guilty
I'm like top five.
The
do a
Thing,
top five.
guilty pleasure. Hold on.
I love.
They Live is really good
I
too.
love Sky
They Live is
Patterson
great,
because he
yeah.
also tunes into Marvel Movie News.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
2
tune-
on the Popcorn Talk Network on Tuesdays. But
Watches a lot of shows.
And look, good taste. Blair Witch Project and Babadook. He loves
Yeah,
those
he
as
loves
well.
those.
So
Yay.
shout out to you.
Cool.
And his all-time scary favorite
Scream?
movie is
There you
Scream.
go.
Yes.
And it's not because he was born in 1996. So yeah, that
my
was great.
gosh.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you keep tuning in. Again, my name is Anthony Becerra, and you can find me on Twitter and also Instagram at Tony B Dead. That's spelled DED. And whatever like to
you guys
plug.
can find me online at Kari Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And I'm so sorry I forgot to bring it this week. But next week, tune in and we'll be doing comments because I'm going to do a giveaway of the Tokyo Ghoul mask they gave out at the premiere. It's like this paper cardboard cutout thing, and you get to build it. It looks really darn cool.
That's so cool.
So I'll bring that next week, and we'll tell you guys how you can win that.
Yes, guys, and follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. Follow my cosplay page at Ollie Cosplays, and also tune in to the AfterBuzz's Horror TV Weekly at 9.
Also, real quick, next week we're hoping to do was it a Happy Death Day review for the end of the episode, like towards the end of the episode, just a quick review of it.
So go
Sounds
see
good.
it.
Yeah, so go see
we'll
it if
go
you
see
want to partake in that.
Yep.
And we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
See ya.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.